The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. Enjoy the show.
Hey gamers, this podcast was recorded in front of a live studio audience, held against their will.
The following podcast contains content not suitable for young audiences. That includes you, little Jimmy.
It's a parody?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh shoot, we're recording.
Okay.
Slicks over rice.
Do a lineup, say, for yourself.
Yeah, everyone line up.
Just gonna keep timing.
Everyone get in a line. We're gonna do the Macarena.
I can do it.
I forgot.
Check.
It was
Check.
the Macarena. The Macarena. And Macarena.
Oh,
And then you yep. And then you
Macarena.
Aye.
Ah.
Guys,
What's going on?
welcome back to Talking Rad, the podcast, episode 22.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 70 episodes. Was last episode 69?
No, 2 episodes ago.
2 episodes?
71, I think.
71.
It all mashes together.
Who even knows
All comes
anymore?
together.
Zay would know. Zay looks at it every day.
It all comes
Not every day.
together.
Yeah, listen.
Hey, I got to do it the
wait.
first time.
Wait, shh. Thing, what was that?
Oh,
It all
gosh.
comes together.
Come together.
He really had to let us know about his joke.
Right.
That's why
now.
I wanted to do it just alone.
He's like, oh no, I didn't get a
Memes.
reaction out of the first time I said
I
it.
gotta be edgy. Do it again.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't just be edgy for myself. I have to be edgy for others.
I can't
Right,
just
Thane?
edge off myself. I have to
Yeah,
edge
you
off
have to
everyone
edge
else.
others off. Yeah.
Okay, so before we get started, I got a question. I got a question for you guys. I guess for the audience specifically, but I wanted to ask you guys as well. So for our podcast, for the audio version anyway, Zay's still been running the intro for it, and it's like 30 seconds. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But do you think that we should keep doing that, or just cut it down to like 2 seconds, and then the podcast starts?
Thick got mad when I didn't do it one time.
Oh, and you didn't do the
yeah.
intro? Okay, well, that answers the question.
Personally, I would think the intro would make sense just because it's talking. If it was just music, we could shorten the music. But because there's like people talking and stuff, I think it's fine.
Okay. Well, do you use the talking version, don't you? Or do you just use the song?
Well, I usually use just the talking version.
Yeah.
You know.
Because like the last season when it was just a song that we had,
Made sense.
I guess
that
it
would make
depends.
sense
I guess
to
it kind
shorten.
of. I do both. I've done both
Well,
before.
we have just the song. Like, when I was editing, it was probably the first couple episodes of the podcast. Whenever I would do the audio version, I would do just the song, just our intro song without the words. And I'd play like 2 or 3 seconds of it, and then I'd have our voices rolling. But I'd let the song finish out.
but it
See, I
kind of
never did
fades. It
that.
kind of fades out.
Yeah, it just fades out.
See, Thick got mad because I did it very short. It was like a 10-second. It was like 10 seconds and that was it. I didn't let the whole thing play out. Thick got mad.
So I guess my
So
final
Thick wants
question
the whole
for you.
thing to play out. At least he does.
That, that's fine. That's like,
Well,
for people that were in it, it makes sense.
I've heard other podcasts where they just have talking and stuff at the beginning, and then the intro music plays, and then they get into it, and that takes about 30 seconds as well. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Okay, cool.
What's 30 seconds to an hour and a half?
Nothing.
we
yeah.
need to take up time because usually we run out of things to talk about.
0.00001%.
And so
Always.
my
It
last
helps us.
question
Helps a
is,
lot.
Yeah.
for you, Zay, do you put the intro music again at the end of the podcast? Cool. Is it just the music with the words?
Yeah,
Or without the words?
I never put voices at the end.
Cool.
Yeah, it's always I put it and then it just kind of slowly fades in, and then I try to line up. Usually someone sings the outro song, usually Cole. So I try to line it up where it ends while he's like ending the outro, whatever he's singing.
With the sax?
Yeah. No, he does the guitar usually.
Oh, do you do that song?
No. I don't even have that. No. No, so he saying the guitar before. No, he doesn't even do that.
Or does
No.
he go,
That's what he does.
Oh, that one.
He's like, see you guys.
wrong outro.
I think the last one you did the like the regular like the sax
podcast
or whatever,
one?
but before that you'd always do the guitar.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
like,
don't-
okay.
I don't know. It's just one of the
Whatever.
things we just kind of got stuck in the habit of doing. Every time we end something,
Yeah.
just,
Well, even the viewers do it. Like,
Yeah,
remember
I think people
for the-
like it,
For the
though.
Crunker video, everyone starts singing the freaking.
It's when they start putting it in chat too. I love that. That's our thing. I'm so happy that that's our thing.
It's such a cool song though. Like,
oh, I just
so
love that game too.
I'll tell you where I came up with it. Is I had a buddy from Canada. He was one of my roommates for a little bit, and he would like show me all these old video game music. And prior to this, I was probably like 18. And I didn't know much about video game music. I played Halo, I played Zelda, I played a little bit of like Dark Souls. Like my knowledge of video games is very minuscule, but I always had music that I liked. And this guy was a mega game nerd, and he just opened my world to video game music. Like I have I had a whole flash drive with probably like 1,000 songs, but it had Bravely Default, Fire Emblem, Metroid Prime, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, and it had Xenoblade Chronicles, and it had like every song on there.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Here, you're gonna really like this one," because he knew I was a rock star. Not a rock star. I like rock and roll, but he played the song, and he's like, "Listen to this guitar," and then went wee 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 wee, and I was like, "Dude, that is so sick." But I can't even remember what the first YouTube video was that I used that as the outro. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, kind of just stuck, I guess.
Hey, you guys want to know why Sky hates JRPGs? Because he played a Lord of the Rings game that was a Final Fantasy X ripoff, and he thought it was going to be an action game.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the Sky
But if
trivia.
he played Final Fantasy X, maybe he'll start liking JRPGs.
Well,
He'll come full circle.
Here's the thing, though, is like I'm kind of warming up to the idea. I played an RPG a while ago.
I was gonna ask, did you ever beat Pokemon?
No, I'm slowly. It's a slow burn for me.
Oh. That's a slow game too.
You guys are
going
bad.
your
The game
way.
is
What
Lord of the
happened?
Rings:
No
The
one's
Third
paid
Age. By
yet.
the way, that Sky
it's the
literally
first?
Tomorrow is.
Oh.
what is?
Hey, I'm just saying.
I usually pay.
I can't
on
pay. It won't
the
even let me
first.
pay till the first.
Hey, I'm just saying.
It won't let me pay.
You
I
haven't
tried.
paid either.
I'm
You
just
haven't paid
saying.
either.
I
But
one
it's
time-
sad. I felt like I was like probably gonna be last, but I'm not.
I
One time-
always pay.
one time I
I am
signed
in
up-
fact the first.
One time I signed up to pay like 5 days in advance, and it didn't go through until like the second. I'm like, what the freak? Did I miss it or something? Never doing that again. I only pay on the first now, manually.
I
Bad.
set it up where it takes money.
I don't like it.
Autopay. I don't
Yeah.
like autopay either.
Freaks me out.
Well, the reason I don't like autopay is because I got cucked over one time. Is my bank effed me over, and so one of my it was the water bill when I had it on autopay. Tried pulling out money, and it's like, oh, you bounced. And I'm like, frick.
Screw you.
I was gonna sum up something, by the way. Speaking of Xenoblade Chronicles, so recently Xenoblade Chronicles had the definitive edition come out, and of course I had to get the European special edition because it came with a sick A vinyl record and a steelbook that we wouldn't get in America. So I wanted to tell
Frickin'
you
Europe.
how much money it totaled up to being for me to get it from Europe, and then also to ship it here.
You should say the base price first.
So the first price is the base price.
Okay.
So to buy it, it was 90 euros, which equivalates to, this is after taxes and stuff, $115.57.
Teeth.
And then, yeah, they cheap. And then to pay for shipping, it was, well, freak, those are euros. 34.64 euros.
Gosh.
And I think that equates to around 40 to 50 bucks. I can tell you in a second if I look it up
Oh
more.
man.
Cole paid like $170 for this thing.
It was like $160, $70. I
Even
really
Fade's like,
wanted
"Oh,
it, but
man."
dang, it's just the shipping that really ate me.
Even that's
Yeah.
bad to
But the
feign.
thing is, Cole, is you can say there's probably a couple other Americans that have done it the way
Oh,
you're
I'm
doing
sure.
it, but
It was $44.60.
not that many
American.
people. You can say not that many Americans have what you're gonna have.
That's true. Yeah.
Not even just Americans, but other than Europe, how many people have actually been able to get this?
Well,
thing?
Japan's not even getting this either.
Exactly.
Europe's the only one that got this special
Yeah,
edition.
that's what I'm saying. Is like now, not only is it European exclusive, but
Does
you can
Japan
say
even
that
have
I'm an
vinyl?
American and I got it.
Yeah. I just wanted it. It's exactly everything I wanted for this game. It's a soundtrack selection. It's a cool vinyl. Got a steelbook even, and I love steelbooks. You guys know that
Well, it
nowadays.
comes with the steelbook and the regular.
Yeah, it
case.
comes with
Yeah.
both. That's freaking awesome.
Here's a question. Does Japan even have a vinyl scene like it does in Europe or America?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
All I know is their special edition was just as bad as ours, though, in America. The special edition we got in America was the game and an art book. Granted, so you do get the art book with the European special edition. However, the United States version is hardcover and the European one is not. So that is where they kind of get you a little bit.
Soft.
It still sounds worth it to me.
Oh yeah, I'm so
If
pumped
you're
for
a
it.
fan, dude, like
Still sounds clutch.
if I was as big into game collecting as I have been in the last 6 months, I would have probably bought more special editions of games. But you can even look on my shelf of how many instances of where I just didn't give an F because I've got really messed up cases, or I got a freaking DVD case that I slapped a game in.
When it comes down to it, I rarely buy special editions. I only buy special editions of games that I like, that I enjoy, and things like that. And that's when I start collecting them, for example. Like, with Xenoblade, I own all the versions of it now. And I have the limited edition art book that came with the pre-order for the original Wii copy as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I like the game, I collect it, you know. Same with Wind Waker, and I got the Japanese version of Wind Waker. I've got all these extra little memorabilias for Wind Waker. And now, Persona 5, obviously, I picked up the original Persona 5 Steelbook. Granted, I didn't get the special editions because those are just stupid prices, but yeah, you see what I mean.
No, it makes sense.
I don't know. It's fun to collect for things you actually care about. I don't think I'll ever buy a collector's edition of something I don't think I will enjoy.
That's a lot of money.
Exactly, yeah. Like Ghost of Tsushima, that was the closest I've ever got, I think. Because that's really liked the Steelbook. But after watching the gameplay, I wasn't sure if I was actually going to like it, so I decided not to even pre-order it or anything. And that would have been a little bit more money than normal for the special edition.
I pre-ordered the game digitally. I didn't get the Steelbook. But that's because I have faith in Sucker Punch, because their last game, Second Son, was pretty good. It's an infamous game.
So, can you refund a digitally downloaded
Yes,
game?
you can. I looked it
How
up.
long? How much time do you
You only have a
have?
certain amount of time now. I'm pretty sure.
You have to.
That was like 48 hours.
Well, did
No.
you get it on Steam?
No.
I know
I
Steam's
looked up for
rule.
PlayStation. You can refund it at any time before the launch.
So
Oh,
the
jeez.
way that
Before
Steam
the launch?
works is, I don't know how long you have to do it.
I don't know about
I know
Microsoft though.
the
2
the
hours
main
or 30
yeah
days?
the main restraint is you can't play for longer than 2 hours. If you play longer than 2 hours, you can't return it. It could be the 30 days. That sounds
I
right.
thought it was I thought it was 2 hours or 30 days.
Yeah.
I remember a guy got a bunch of crap for refunding Sonic Forces on Steam, even though he had played 3 hours. And he's
No. What it was is he beat the game in under 2 hours,
Oh,
and he returned it even though he beat the game.
he. I think that where he got crap is he refunded it live on stream,
Oh.
and there was a article written by Polygon like doing a hit piece on him, and it's like what?
There's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah,
though.
what do you guys care about that?
That's hilarious though.
Like
he beat the game
refunding
under
it.
2 hours and returned it.
Yeah, they should. If anything, they should be like, "Wow, this guy's awesome."
What'd be crazy is if that became like a speedrun category. You make a new account, you buy the game,
And then beat it
and beat it
return
under 2 hours and return it.
Thanks,
And
Polygon.
when you hit the return button, that's when the time ends.
Yeah, I can't remember who the guy is, but yeah, he like made a video and he was just roasting Polygon and the article, and it's like, yeah, like why should they care? That's mainstream journalism now, is just writing about stuff nobody cares about. They shouldn't care
doubt, dude.
about.
Thing. This is the
And it
answer.
ruins that
This is the
person's
answer.
credibility.
Mainstream journalism is great.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
answer.
All I
so
gotta
to-
say.
great.
That's all I gotta say.
This is the answer to everything. Clicks.
Clicks.
What gets clicks? Boobs and misleading titles.
Clicks, booms.
Boobs.
Yeah.
boobs.
Click, boobs. Modern journalism coming down.
Dude, we could totally make
Yeah.
up a song.
Dude, we can make up a song called
Yeah.
Clickbait. Click boobs.
It's
Click
a
on his
parody of
boobs,
Click
yeah.
Click Boom by Saliva, was it?
That's like
Yeah.
So, speaking of clicking on
Someone's
things,
here.
It's my brother, I think.
Oh, okay.
Boober, he clicked on my name on Discord and decided to send me on over a question. I thought it was very cool, and I thought you guys would really like it. So I want to ask everybody here. It's more
Hopefully
of like
it's not dumb, boober.
it's more of like a scenario with questions. But anyway, I'm gonna paint the picture for you guys. All right. Let's imagine in your lifetime, humans have made life on Mars possible due to SpaceX. Achievements would be able to SpaceX achievements, and would you be able to leave Earth, be in space for 150 to 300 days, and live on Mars forever? So you step on the spaceship and you say goodbye to Earth, and that's it. You're gone
And then you just go live on Mars.
forever.
Forever.
Probably not for me.
Oh, that'd be hard. That'd be hard committing like on a new planet.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It doesn't have the appeal that it would for others. Like, it'd be cool and all, but like,
This was my thing though, as I thought about this,
So
and
Cole's no. Is what you're saying.
yeah.
think about
This guy can change
like
my mind.
I agree with
Change
you.
my mind.
Oh, you agree with me?
Yeah, think about like take a video game for example, like Minecraft or Nazi zombies for example. You spend an hour to build up to level 20. You got all these really good guns, and then you die, and you're like, damn, I don't want to play anymore because it took me so long to build up to that. For me to go to Mars and to leave what we have here on Earth to go to something that is now being developed would be really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like imagine going. I don't know what they would be able to take to Mars and how advanced it'd be, but let's say
Well,
go back 20 years ago.
So I imagine you go there. It's already developed and everything for you. It just like move into a new house.
What if you had
Society.
all? What if it's basically just your room that you have there in like a random house, but it's all your stuff?
Yeah, that's what I
from
figured. It
Earth?
was just you moving to a new house.
It just depends on like I don't know if Mars has any visual appeals. Like I don't know if there's what would Mars have to offer that Earth does
Exactly.
not?
That's why I decided to stay, because I realized there's nothing. It doesn't really have much to offer comparatively to Earth.
Also,
I mean, if there's no taxes and stuff, maybe.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Sky.
so here's the thing.
No sales tax. Oh god.
yeah, you're gonna get a Mars moon planet
Here's the
Get a
thing
Mars
about
barber.
house.
living on a different planet. The gravity, no matter if you terraform and have a breathable oxygen, the gravity will always be different. So when you walk on there, you're gonna develop differently, and I don't know if it's good or bad because that's the risk you got to take.
Yeah,
with
that'd
your
be
gravity.
interesting.
Like, if you
You
like,
think people would be taller, Thane?
I don't think so.
No, yeah, you would. Yeah.
I think you'd be weaker.
The lack of gravity would stretch your spine out. I think it's 2
Yeah.
inches what you'd gain.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
I think
you'd
it's
be physically
it's
weaker
like,
though.
It's been like confirmed because
Yeah,
there are
I'm sure.
astronauts that have come back, and they have grown a little
just
bit.
taller.
They've
Wow.
even said that like astronauts' DNA can change if they're in space long enough. Like that is
Yeah.
I can see that
nuts.
happening.
Because I mean, our bodies are built to adapt. So imagine being in space for like 100 days. Think about how much your body adapts to just being on Earth. Like every 100 days, you can see how your body's changed. Well,
It's
imagine
true.
being in a whole different climate. The gravitational pull's different. Like your body's gonna undergo some changes. But
Yeah.
they say that your DNA can physically change, which I think is nuts.
You'd be like reptilians on Mars, hunting in the mountains.
So I got a follow-up question though. What if you were paid to live on Mars? Let's say that they paid you like $1,000 a week.
What's the point?
I don't know. That's just
What would
the
I use the
question.
money with?
Yeah.
I'm on
Exactly.
Mars.
What if you're on
I can't
Mars?
eBay stuff to me.
But let's
No-
say,
there's no
let's
Mars
say that
Bay.
let's say that
E for Earth, you know, N-Bay.
because here was this
True.
this
Is that
goes
why
back
they
to what
name
I
it
was
eBay?
saying.
No.
Oh.
This was going back to what I was saying though
Electronic.
is I don't like waiting for things to develop. So if you're saying, well, if I could take my room and everything's the same, well, then it would make sense if you're getting paid $1,000 a day.
I think that the only time you get paid, like when it's worth getting paid, is if you get to come back to Earth. But that's the only time. But if you have to live there forever, there's no point in getting paid.
For example, like
Or what? Oh, I got another question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
if there's like, say you want to like watch a movie or play a game that is brand new, you're not doing that for another 100 years or 100 days or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This goes back to where
Yeah,
I don't want
let's-
things to be developed.
let's
like
say-
things aren't developed.
Let's say Musk technology. What if it has the ability to? You can download any new game that comes out.
Just
Like it's
instantly,
digital
like the internet
download.
basically gets
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Would
at
you-
that point, it's exactly what I'm doing.
changer.
It's exactly what I'm doing in my life right now, pretty much.
Except
But
you're
you're
on
in
a new
space.
planet.
Wouldn't be that
I
much
mean,
of a difference to
technically
me.
we're in space now. We're just on Earth in space.
Good point, Sky. Good point.
To me, right now, if even if Mars had everything to offer that Earth did, I don't know if I would do it because I feel like Earth is a lot prettier than Mars. But I've never been to Mars, so I
Well,
can't
if it
tell
had
you.
everything, if it had all the same to offer, that means Mars would have pretty stuff to look at too. Then
Then at that point, it's just a second Earth. What does it matter where
it's
you
just,
live?
oh, should I move or not?
Yeah.
Should I stay?
My biggest thing though is like I hate I don't want to wait for the build up for things to get there. I don't want to be the guy that does it all. I want to be the guy that reaps all the rewards.
Jeez. Talk about our generation, am I right, guy?
Well, dude, yeah.
Instant gratification.
Well,
I can't
would
wait.
you guys want to live back in the 1900s?
No, I'm not saying I would either.
be freaking
Sky.
horrible.
I'm
Get
not
me
saying
it
I'm not like that
immediately.
either.
I'd
I
like
just
to
think it's
try it.
hilarious.
I'd like to try it.
I would not like to try it.
No,
I'd like
never.
to
I would
try it.
never. I would
My
hate
my
it.
grandpa said it was horrible.
I'd like to try
He
it.
grew up during World War II. That's a lie. He was like 20 years old during World War II.
That's
He
still
was in
growing
the
up.
war.
I'd still say it's like growing
Okay,
up.
he was
and
growing up.
Yeah, I'd consider that.
So the thing about Mars is that it's closer to the sun, so on days.
Wait. No, it's not. It's not closer to the sun. It's
Mercury,
farther.
Venus, Earth, Mars. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
one more over.
And don't forget about Pluto.
It's
Yeah,
colder.
that's what I
Thing.
Hey,
thought.
we don't like that one no more.
No one says the P word.
Did you mean farther or closer to?
I thought it was. Never mind.
Mercury's really close. That's
okay,
really
then
hot.
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
my
you could
colors
live on
anyway.
Mercury and not
Yeah, it's-
burn up.
Yeah.
I think Mars is colder.
What's
It's
the
without a doubt. It's
What's
colder.
the planet with the heaviest gravity?
Gravity.
Probably the one that spins the fastest.
Yeah.
Gravity.
I think maybe what's the one with the constant wind cycle? Like it's just constantly have
Gravity.
It's
wind
one of
around
the
it.
inner ones. I
I
don't
think
remember.
it's
It's one of
Jupiter?
those two. No, it's one of the inner ones. I'm pretty sure. One of the two.
Or is it
Wait,
Mercury?
wait. What are you talking about? The
It just
winds?
yeah, like you see it and it looks like a constant dust.
That one's Jupiter. That one
Yeah.
you're thinking of. I thought
Yeah.
you meant like actual
That
wind on the
gravity-
planet.
that
I think that's
gravity's
one of the
probably
inner
heavier.
ones.
That's probably the heaviest gravity.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Girls go to
It is bigger.
Girls
so that
go
would make sense,
how's it go?
maybe.
Girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
And yeah.
Boys go to Mars to get more candy bars.
Yeah.
I remember saying
I
that in
think that's what I
elementary
said.
school.
Candy bars.
Yeah, except
I
the
remember
thing
that
is
in
Mars is
elementary
a
school.
Desert.
I think that's pretty much
It was
it.
Mars
though.
to do something. I don't think it was candy bars though.
Oh, I remember saying candy bars.
It was Mars to get more
Candy bars. That's what I would
Yeah.
say.
bars. Maybe it was. I don't know. But it was Jupiter 'cause to get more stupider.
Which is just funny
Or-
because
or
saying
boys go
to
to college
get
to get
more
more knowledge.
stupider. It's funny because being said that way. So it's kinda, it's
I
pretty
like it.
So Boober asked like some more follow-up scenarios with like wife and kids
Oh,
and stuff, but
I had my question. I had my question.
I don't think we're getting to it. Sorry, Boober. Go ahead, Zay.
So, my question is kind of going back to the same thing. So, let's say you're approached by SpaceX saying we need people to risk their lives to go out into space. Let's say you can go to any planet really, but like go to this place, see what's going on, and then come back. So let's say the journey is going to take a total of 15 years, but you get paid, let's say 10 million,
I don't know.
and you're risking your life as well.
It'd
So,
be quite an experience.
Will my money go to my family if I die?
Your family will be paid out.
Dude, that'd be really hard because I feel like what I'm doing right now is what I've always wanted to be doing. Like, I love creating content and stuff on the internet. But I feel like doing an outer space journey where you can say that nobody's ever been will be, like, out of this world.
Think about that footage. Think about filming a vlog upside down or something.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
That'd
I
well,
mean,
you can do that right
crazy
now. You just turn the
footage.
camera upside down.
It would be
Oh.
15. Here's the thing, though.
Different.
Is it'd be 15 years, assuming that there's no connection to you whatsoever. It'd be 15 years before you'll even be able to share your adventures with you. So, like, if I were to leave now, I would come back almost a 40-year-old man.
Which
Yeah, I don't know if I do it.
in relatively it's pretty young considering like
Oh, how much life you have left to live.
yes, yeah.
And-
And saying you get paid what did I say 10 or 15, I don't remember. Either way, but
10
you
million.
get paid
What, yeah.
10 million.
God,
So yeah, you come back nearly 40 with 10 million and that's it.
Without a doubt, you'd have a crew with you, though. And I don't know if I could be with the same people for so long all the time, 24/7.
Kind of what a family is, isn't it?
Not really. You're not with them 24/7. You can, like, go to work, you know.
Okay,
You
let's
can
assume-
leave for a
let's
second.
assume- let's
I
assume
miss
that
my
this-
wife.
These guys aren't leaving. They're
Let-
like, oh, hey, Bill. Day 5,132? Yeah.
let's say that you got let's say that you got a girlfriend with you that you potentially marry while you're in space or whatever. You don't have to marry her, but you have
Space marriage.
you have a partner.
Oh, think about like
Mars
let's
ain't the kind of place.
So
to
what
raise
if
your
she was a
kids.
fellow astronaut and then you guys
Act
like
as
break
cold as
up, you get into
hell.
a mean fight, and you guys just hate each other. Think about the work relationship that you're gonna have.
Here's the thing, though, is I feel like if you know for a fact you're gonna be stuck with somebody and there's no way out, I feel like you're gonna try your best to make it work.
Okay,
You're gonna try not to fight.
Cool. Let's say you get to pick who you want to go, and let's say there's a girl that's like nearly perfect in your eyes, and you're like, I can see this working. Would you do it? Then you get to pick your crew.
I don't know, man. It'd still be hard. Like I said, it's just being with the same people for so long, 24/7 is rough, dude.
I totally agree. I think the biggest thing for me, though, I think I would do it. I think it'd be fun. I think if I went now, I think it'd be the appropriate age because, like Zay was saying, you come back 40 years old, you still got a lot of years left to live.
Or if you take Zay's example, though, which is just a perfect person, of course I'm going to say yes, though, because there's nothing wrong with them. If there's nothing wrong with them, I won't be able to find any faults. That's just how it works.
But it's kind of like where you've only been dating for like a little while, so you don't know everything about
well,
them.
then it's not perfect.
No, Cole. You're in that stage where
No,
like,
it's not
you're like
perfect.
they can't
It's
do
not how that
anything
works.
wrong.
No.
They can't do anything
That's
wrong.
not how that works.
Here's the
Cole,
thing, though.
Cole, that's how it works. You have to take the risk.
I'm
It's
not
a
taking
risk.
that.
You're risking your
exactly,
life to go
I'm
out
just
into
saying,
space.
If it was a perfect
You're
person,
also risking
sure.
your life with
It's
this
not a perfect
relationship.
person. I just don't know about their
But
the
Cole-
things I don't like about them.
Cole, I think the big picture is being jumped over here. It's not about who you're with. It's about what you're getting to experience.
Yeah, he's worried about the relationships.
No, I'm
God,
worried about the
Bethany,
mental sanity, basically.
Get the heck out of here.
I think the journey would be incredible. If it was just a journey without any of like the after side effects, oh yeah, without a doubt I'd do it.
Dude, that's
It's awesome.
That's
Crazy
effing
experience.
life right there, though. Like, there's just mental side effects from living life.
I know, but this is far different.
From
You're
microwaves, too.
consoled to
The
one
the
thing
radiation.
for 15 years.
Hey,
I don't know about that.
well, okay, let's say that. Well, how long would the journey take to get there? Let's say that it takes like half, a little less than half. Let's say you get to spend like 2 years on wherever the hell you're going. So it's like 6 years there, 6 years back, and you get to spend 3 years there at the place.
Yeah.
Then get ready to answer this question
Doesn't change
after we're
anything,
done.
Jai.
Okay, you prepare yourself over there.
Okay.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
That didn't change anything
No?
for me, you know. I'd still feel exactly the same. No matter how long I spend wherever I'm going.
I see.
So would you do it if it was less time?
Yeah, probably. It'd be a
So
lot
let's
easier.
say it's a total of 7 years. There, back, and the amount of time you get to stay there.
That would be a lot more doable. That's for sure.
So that one's a yes. It's just the amount of years it takes.
Oh yeah, it's specifically it's how long it would take. I know there'd be days I'd lose my freaking mind, but it'd be far less days I'd lose my mind because it's not 15 years. It's half of that.
I guess to wrap it up, my answer is yes. I would go. I'd do it.
No matter what the time amount is, 15 years or 7.
I don't know. Yeah, I think 15 would probably be my limit. Like 20 years, dude, that's a long freaking time. That's like my life right now, what I've lived.
Yeah.
That's like asking me to live what I just lived somewhere else where I can't even
But
see my
just in
family.
one
In a-
little
in a metal box.
Yeah, one freaking spaceship.
Let's assume that it's like a giant space station. So there's like
And there's
Well,
big
in that
wings.
case,
workout
it's different than
There's
too.
big wings.
I don't-
Like you
I
can
don't-
go
you-
down to
I
like
didn't
a
expect it
different
to be
wing.
something like that.
Like
That's
you go down to the
different.
pool
Well,
hall, or
you
you
think
go
like a
down to like
house.
the
I don't
little
think-
library.
You think they're gonna send you 15 years away in just a little rust bucket?
Probably.
It's Elon Musk.
It wouldn't be
No.
that big.
Yeah,
it
it's
wouldn't be
Elon
that
Musk,
small,
yeah.
but like you know what I mean. It'd be like those like you've seen Rocket Man, right? Do something like that. It's not too big. It's not too small.
Okay, let's do like a.
Well, they don't have a lounge. You're not gonna go to the
Yeah,
bar
you
and
go
be
to the-
like,
yeah, you
"Hey,
go to
Jim,
the-
yeah, the usual
You
things."
go to the tiki bar. So let's say they have different wings. You just go to different locations.
That's even easy. That makes it a lot
Yeah,
easier.
it's like a
though.
little
you do it at
floating
that point.
village.
So
It's
you
like a
do it at
floating
that
village.
point.
Yeah, exactly. It's
You would do it at that point.
It's a lot easier. So probably yeah,
15 years and there's a bunch of different wings.
probably yeah.
All right.
My mindset was completely it was just a spaceship. That's it.
See, I wasn't even thinking spaceship in my head. What I thought of, honestly, was have you guys ever seen the show with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence?
Nope.
The
freaking
Interstellar?
Passengers?
No, Passengers,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. That's a cool movie.
That'd
I
be-
like that.
yeah.
I like that. But that's a
I've not seen
cool.
it.
That's like a cruise ship basically, because there's so many freaking.
Yeah, but
Everyone has
like,
their own room. It's like.
well, in my brain, that's what I thought of because the whole premise of the show is it's like a 40-year journey or something, maybe even longer. Maybe it's like 100 years, and
But don't they
they're all,
freeze
Yeah, they're
themselves
all
so
in
they
cryo
don't
sleep,
age?
so they don't age.
Yeah.
But his cryopod like opens
That's
up for
Rocket
some
Man.
reason. And then he sees Jennifer Lawrence and falls in love, and he opens up her cryopod.
Oh shoot!
and
really?
she's just like, "Well, f, we can't go back
She's
to
like,
sleep."
why'd you open mine?
Yeah,
She's like,
I
mad
would
at
be
him.
mad.
She was pissed at the beginning, but then they like fall in love, and then they live their epic life and have kids, and I don't know. It's kind of a cool concept, but that's what I thought of when they asked the question. Is it's gonna be like a giant space station, not just 2 seats and a jet flying in space.
It's Rocket Man but with another person.
Yeah.
What about you, Thane? Yes or no?
Thane's like, what is the question?
Well, in that case,
What question
is
is
the answer?
I'm just kidding. Do I get to be an explorer on the planet?
That's what
the
you
whole
are.
That's the whole point of
That's
it,
what
yeah.
you are. You're going to look and see what is there, what it holds for you.
Then sure.
That's the only.
just wants to look at the
what you're
planet.
going for. Yeah, sure.
But let's be honest, though. Thane would do really well sitting in one place for a long period of time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he wouldn't, but
If you had,
What do you mean I get to only sit in one place? I want to go.
no, he's talking about the
the
flight
journey there.
Yeah.
Thane, if you had the
It's like
choice,
6 years of flying.
Hey, let's imagine that you had
That's
like
a
these
lot of-
freaking like these.
you have
just, like,
7 monitors.
Yeah, they're like holographic. Like you can just swipe them, they just leave. Like you just swipe and.
You just get him excited for the trip.
Yeah.
Zay.
Yeah.
Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Hulu,
His-
Netflix.
his
You got
mind.
A lot of
18
stuff to watch.
monitors.
His mind just
It's like, sir, we're there. He's like, one more episode.
But you watch.
Sir, you spent 7 years watching this.
Give
me
He's
more.
like, sir, it's time to go back to Earth. He's like, then he goes, wait, I didn't go to the Mars Wendy's yet. I gotta go. Like, too late, sir. You spent all your time.
the Mendy's. Mars Wendy's.
The Wendy's. Wendy's.
So then you would do it then?
Sure.
All right.
So, in all reality, though, let's think about this logically. If Elon Musk, I guess not if, but when he decides to send people to space, do you think he's going to send robots first to suss it out?
Without a doubt, yeah.
If
Yeah.
if AI
That's what
is
they've
like
done in the
that far
past.
advanced, why not just send a freaking Kathy the robot who's intellectually way smarter than any human being on planet Earth?
That's what they're gonna do, Sky. I wouldn't put it past them. I'm
Yeah.
sure they would.
We're probably dumbos and they already did that. Well, that's not true. They launched somebody in space yesterday.
Yeah,
Or-
they just went to the ISS though.
is that the space station?
Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
phenomenal feat.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal feat.
Call
but like,
that's pretty
Compared to
big.
going to
Cool.
Mars.
but we've been doing that for years. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah.
So-
I don't want to downplay that at
How
all.
long have people been on the space station though, not being able to come back home?
Oh, then come back home. They just live up there for a little while, maybe like 3 years or something at a time.
They
2
kind of
years.
have to because it costs so much.
Well, then
just
how come
to
they
get-
said this is the first time we've sent astronauts to space in like 8 years?
Because it's the first time we launched them off from our soil. We've paid Russia to send them up for us. But over the past like what 8 or 9 years or whatever, it's the first time we've done it on our soil since then.
Is that just because NASA shut down and
Pretty
SpaceX
much, yeah.
is like the only thing still going?
Pretty much. Yep.
So, on Mars, a year is 687 days.
Wow.
So just 2 years.
Yeah, it's pretty much 2 years.
So then, is a human's life cut in half or twice extended?
No, it's just the same.
It's the same.
You just
but
go back after 2 years instead of 4 years.
You just keep an Earth watch there.
Yeah.
Let's say you just age the same, but your years are just twice as long. That'd be crazy.
And your life's extended.
Well, yeah, that's your life
Yeah,
is extended then.
Yeah.
That's not how it
'Cause-
would work though.
But I'm just thinking like that.
If it would happen,
Yeah.
like, sure. it'd
Well,
be
Mars has
cool.
different rules,
Yeah,
Cole.
what if it was though, dude?
No,
what if
that's not how it works.
what if
Don't
de-
be dumb.
No, what if depending on what planet you live on, your body changes
That's
to
not how
adapt?
that works.
Yeah,
You've
what
never
if it
been
is,
to
Cole?
one.
You don't know.
You don't know.
I don't have to know that. Like that's just obvious. Like a factual thing.
Didn't we just literally talk about being in space can change your DNA, like bodies
It's not
adapt?
gonna make you live longer though. There's
How do
no
you know,
possible
though?
way.
What if your body ages slower being on a different planet? Like, there's no way to prove that. You can't say
Oh,
yes
there's
or
any
no.
possible way.
Why?
It doesn't. It's not right.
Cole.
It doesn't work like that.
Cole.
Our bodies, the way they are at the beginning, sure they can change a little bit and adapt and whatnot. They're not gonna adapt to freaking live another 100 years. They're gonna
Cole,
still die.
I don't know
You
if
don't know that.
Cole, immediately I don't know if we'd be able to do that, but I would give it like maybe 20, 25 years. I think in a while, if we were living on Mars for that long, I think our bodies would change.
I know they would. I'm not saying they wouldn't.
But
I'm not
in-
saying
in
they're gonna.
ways
I don't
that
think
we
they're
just
gonna
wouldn't
grow so
understand.
they can live longer. Granted, if you had kids up there and they were born on Mars, they would probably live longer. I don't think you would though personally.
I think your body could change.
I
I'm
think
not-
it can too. I don't think it's the change while you're living is a lot less gradual than the change if you're going generationally. That's how evolution works. Evolution doesn't happen very often, or very quickly in an already living organism.
Maybe.
That's not even a maybe. That's a real thing.
No, Cole.
I'm just saying,
Cole, it's just when you go to a new planet, you gotta throw all the rules out the window.
This is the dumbest
you just don't
conversation
know.
ever.
There's no way. It's not
Yeah,
dumb.
you just don't know, dude.
Pretty dumb.
Unless you go to different planets, how would you know how your body reacts to what the planet has to offer?
Until it happens, you just can't say for sure because you just don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't argue this. You know I can't. That's why you're arguing it back. But it just sounds so stupid.
No, we're not arguing. We're just saying you
It's
just
a
don't know.
possibility. Yeah, you just don't know. I mean, literally, like Zay's saying, if you go to different planets, I feel like a lot of the rules you just kind of chuck out the window. It's a new way of life that you're living.
Of course, you're gonna expect maybe something similar, but you just don't know until okay, that's different. That's the same. That's different.
Okay, let's put get another perspective on it. Say there's another planet exactly like Earth, but it's a little bit farther away from the sun. You gonna change? You gonna be different?
You could
probably.
the
I
way
don't think
that
there would.
How does the sun? How does space between where you are and the sun affect life?
If you're colonizing Mars, you're making it so it's livable exactly as much as you possibly can to the Earth. So it doesn't matter if the sun's far away. You're gonna get the same effect as if the sun was right there because they're gonna artificially do it. That's just how it works. There's no oxygen on Mars. You're not going to walk around on the Mars soil with your
and
freaking skivvies on.
How is the artificial going to affect your body?
It's going to be exactly the same. If they're colonizing Mars, it's because they've nailed everything down so they could completely replicate how it is to live on Earth. There's no other reason for it. It's impossible.
Cole,
our bodies don't change that quickly.
Let's say the environment when they go is it's pretty tame, so they can just put down because you've seen the idea putting a hotel on Mars.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you're not changing anything, but just the environment inside the building.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's livable, but everything on the planet itself.
You're not going out though.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
you're not going out though. You're going to be inside the thing that's contained.
In that sense, you're not changing anything about the planet except just the living condition inside the building. So
exactly,
it's
and it's going to be the same as you. So you're not going to change that much, if at all.
But if you were to go outside,
you're not going out though.
But if you were to,
there is no if.
Cole,
you can't. You physically cannot
if you
live
were
out
to,
there.
that's what we're saying though. Because if you were to, that's when you just don't know
you're going to
what's
go out there with
happen.
a spacesuit on.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
What if they?
It's the same thing as being inside of the building.
What if they find a way though to make Mars livable without spacesuits?
Then you will be dead by then because it'll be your kids doing that. That's what I'm saying. Just because you're living right now, you cannot evolve enough to live on another thing like that. That's so foreign. Your kids maybe could though. Your kids definitely could probably. There's no way you could though.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm open to the possibilities of tons of different planets out there affecting your body in different ways.
It doesn't.
No, Cole.
Because here, let me give you one example really quick.
I got one too.
Let's talk about gravity for example.
Yeah.
Let's say that somebody on Earth weighs 300 pounds and then they go up into space. Well, gravity is going to affect their body a lot differently. I think that they would be, their body would be, obviously there'd be less weight straining on that person's body. So let's talk about their ankles, for example. Their ankles would break down a lot faster on Earth than it would in space. So that right there is an example of how changing the environment can affect somebody's body.
That is fair, but it doesn't change up your DNA though. That's not an effect that would change your DNA. That's just an effect of changing your health.
See,
because you're living
differently. I guess I didn't clarify. I'm not talking just about DNA, but just about how the environment of a different place can affect your body. And there's so many different variables that you'd have to take into consideration. This is why that my small brain doesn't do NASA. I don't do space. I don't worry about living on Mars, because it's too overwhelming for me. But these are just things that I'm thinking about. And I think Zay's kind of on the same page with that.
Yeah, and that makes good sense and all, but I lost my train of thought completely. It was something along the lines of the whole...
I think if we were to have, let's say we were to colonize Mars today, at the end of our lifetimes, let's say the rest, all of the three of us live another 80 years. I say in 80 years, you can make a substantial difference in how we can be or just the human race in general could be different.
Yeah. And
so I'm saying if something were to be developed or if the rules were different on Mars, let's say we could live longer. I'm saying like it
Oh,
is
yeah,
possible
something's
in
gonna
that
be
amount of
developed,
time.
yes.
In that amount of time, I think that it is possible. So if we were to get to the end of our lives, they're like, hey, you can live a while longer, and you can. It's not going to be like a miserable life. So you don't just be like 100 years old for like 100 years.
That actually does remind what I was going to say. I was going to talk about how with our modern medicine, people are living to as long as they possibly can, because that's about when our body wears out. You know, we've been living. Even healthy people, they'll die at 100 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, if you're gonna make some kind of scientific thing to extend your life, you're gonna live longer. It's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But going to a new planet is not what's going to do that. It's going to be the advancements in science that's going to help you live longer.
But see, now this brings into question what makes
you
a
personally, not your posterity.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
as a person, you won't evolve to live longer unless they make a science thing that says, boom, now you're living longer.
In 80 years, I don't know.
I know. I've never ruled. I'm saying that's a possibility.
But I'm saying without science.
No, there's no way. There's no
I'm
possibility.
saying-
I think there could be though.
There's not.
You don't know that.
I'm Cole. I'm not gonna
There's
say
nothing
there is.
that's going to change. The Earth has not changed like very much at all over the past 1,000 years.
Okay, but this goes
The only
back.
thing that's changed is science, and now
This-
we have science.
this
We
goes-
get to our limit.
But this goes back to the variable thing though. Is there's so many variables that goes into a human life and life expectancy in itself. Somebody that takes good care of their body and does all of the right things to make sure that they extend their life. I feel like
it's cancer. I mean, they can still.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That's what I'm saying. There's just too many variables to pinpoint what you would have to do. You know what I mean? There's so many people that are really healthy that still can get sick and die, or people that are just fat slobs and they live to be 100. Like, it doesn't make sense. But I think my biggest thing is, if you were to go to a different planet, how would that planet affect your body? And I'm not
that's what
saying
I
it would
argued.
extend your
I don't
life
think it
or
would do anything because we'd be living in those those things that are stimulating the Earth. To you personally, I don't think it would do anything, other than maybe your ankles or whatever, like you said, because we're a little bit, I'm a little bit chubby, But your kids is kids, those kids is kids. Yeah, sure, they'll evolve. You can't though. You can a little bit. You can't do as much as you're thinking though.
I don't know. I think
Human bodies don't work like that.
No,
You should
think
know
about-
all people.
no, think about-
you know human bodies more than anybody here.
Well, that's
about-
what's nuts though. Is everybody's body's different. Like it's
Oh,
it's
man.
So if we were to go with that route, though, so like think about if you were to, it's almost like you don't have as like the consequences aren't as great. So let's say someone that weighs 200 pounds and let's say they're overweight, but then they go to space, their body's going to adapt. For it to be like the same effect as like 300 pounds on Earth, they're gonna have to eat so much more. They're gonna have to do a lot less, but they're not gonna have as many effects.
Yep.
So like let's say like their body adapts and then like they're internally, let's say it changes as well. So I mean, you just don't know. So like let's say you have like 600 people and that's 600 pound people and that's the norm. So like or just I don't know.
But not talking about people that aren't fit. Talking about completely physically fit people. There's nothing wrong with them. No medical problems at all. They're gonna max out their life roughly around 190 whatever, like on Earth, right?
yeah, probably.
They're gonna max out around then.
most likely.
You take them to Mars, it's not gonna change anything. They won't. They're gonna max out around the same. It's not gonna change anything because that's how their body was made for currently right now.
See, and here's my thing:
Can't evolve
is
that much to change that much.
you just don't know.
in a lifetime.
Like I've learned a lot about the human body, and one of the biggest things that a lot of people that study the human body have come to realize is it's such an anomaly. The human body does some of the weirdest things ever. The human body is able to heal itself, to take care of itself. It has response systems. So if you touch a stove, your body says, this is hot, move your hand, stop. You know what I mean? The human body is so far advanced, and I think it's so much bigger and smarter and better than we give it credit for. So for me, I just say I don't know. Like, you wouldn't know until you send somebody there and let them live there. But this goes back to the variables. So I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, absolutely. Like, the life expectancy is probably around 70 to 80 years is like the average human lifespan.
Yeah.
With people on the end of the spectrum clocking over 100. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you don't get people that live, I don't know, what's the oldest person that's ever lived in the last 200 years?
Like
You know what I mean?
115 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
I'll say
So
it's around there.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what the possibilities are. There's so many variables that go into how your body adapts and changes, and you don't know how fast your body adapts.
No, we do know how fast it goes.
Everybody's body's different. This is the
It
problem.
doesn't matter if everybody's different. It's the general. Look at over the 1,000 years. It took thousands of years to get where we are today. Back in, like 200 years ago, we were all a lot shorter. Now look at us. We're all taller.
I don't know. The Bible says there was giants, so...
That's not what I mean. I'm talking about like what we physically know 200 years ago. People were shorter. Look at their houses. Their doors were like 6 foot, or 5 foot or whatever. I don't know. We're 6 foot now. You know what it is. You've been into one of those houses before.
Yeah, no, dude,
It's hard to walk in.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just being open to the possibilities. For me to say I don't know is like a very comforting answer, because I don't want to say yes or no. I don't know.
But it's also the most honest, because like you just, without knowing or without going there.
Oh yeah, without
you
a
just
doubt.
can't say
Without a
for
doubt,
sure.
you're right. You can't know for sure.
But
with
when you say
with what I know, like as the way we work nowadays, that's where I base it off of. I
Yeah.
don't think one planet's gonna change that much.
so you can say that with like 99% in your mind or in
without a
your
doubt.
heart, you can say 99%.
Yeah, I
but
can't
there's
be
that 1%,
positive.
we're
I
like,
know I can't be,
exactly. So like
but it makes
that's where
sense.
Sky and I are at though. So like you just don't know.
Yeah, it
That's
makes
all
sense in
we're
my
saying.
mind the way it would work. That's why I'm arguing.
Yeah,
it.
that's why Sky and I are saying that's
I like
we
things
just
to make
we just
sense,
can't
and
say
that's
for
why
sure.
it makes sense.
See, and I'm cool with things not making sense.
I
Like,
hate it.
I don't
They have to make
understand. I don't
sense.
understand how electricity works, but I love it. I use it every day. I don't understand how the internet works, or cell phones, or radio frequencies, but I still reap the benefits.
But you could piece it in your brain to how it works. Be like, oh, I know. I can kind of figure out how this would work.
Yeah. And now here's
That's
the
what I
biggest
do.
thing.
That's what you
Is
just
Or
already
how the
do.
a
brain
lot of
works, how the
people-
human brain works. That
Well,
too, in
just
I
itself.
don't know that one.
the
No one knows that
body,
one.
Yeah,
the
and
human
that
body in
itself.
general. Why does the human body do what it does? How is it able to function like a machine? And it's like one of the most perfectly built machines and it's just given to us. You know what I mean? Like, this is where the whole I don't know is, because we don't really understand the human body all that much. I mean, there's a lot of scientists that say, yeah, like, I understand the human body to an extent, but there's so many mysteries of the human body, and this is where like a huge variable comes in. Like we've been saying, this whole thing runs on variables. This is why you wouldn't be able to tell until you do experiments on it. But anyway, the point is yeah, I don't know. I think, me personally, I don't know how long it would take. I agree with Cole. I think it would take some time for somebody's body to adapt, but we just don't know how fast or how long it would take, because everybody's body adapts differently. And plus, if you're put into a specific situation, how long would it take your body to adapt to a new planet specifically? You know what I mean? Maybe it does take a couple generations. I wouldn't doubt it, based upon like what Cole's saying. It's taken 1,000 years to get to where we are now.
I think it would be the same. That's my stance on it. I think it would be the same as Earth. The evolution process wouldn't change.
See, and
It would be the same.
Or think about if we were to live underwater too.
yeah,
Think about
Oh,
how
yeah,
our body
that'd be-
would change too.
That would be an
So-
I think an even greater change than what you'd get on Mars.
See, like, but and it's just crazy. Like I've like, of course, when we sit in water for a while, like our skin gets all weird. But like, think about if we were to do that for long enough, and like maybe not us, of course, like you said, but
Exactly.
maybe, like,
Yeah.
our
That's
kids and stuff.
exactly right. Yeah.
So like in that sense, like it's just interesting to think about how we would change if it what effects we Mars would have, or living on a different planet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just pretty much what I think. I don't think it'd change that much for us, but our generations would. I don't think our human body can change as fast as we would like it to. And the way we are evolved now, I think we're still evolving as a species, but I think we are pretty peaking out right now. Which is why I think a lot of these people are trying to do like space exploration, for example, because they're trying to find the next thing to do, essentially.
So
We get bored.
when you say peaking out, are you talking about like we've adapted as much as we probably need to live on Earth?
Or can, potentially. I mean, sure, we'll change a little bit here and there, but like, I don't think it's possible for the human body to evolve like farther to live longer, for example. I don't think we're going to get to the point on Earth that everyone's living to 150 instead of 100. You know,
I bet you could with modern medicine and science.
that's different though.
Oh,
That's,
sorry,
that's
you're
not
talking
human
about you're just talking
evolution.
about the body
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, because our peak. I mean, part of science did help us. You know, medicine helped us to get to the point where we are now,
Yeah.
where we can all be so healthy that we can live to that time. I don't think it's possible to go farther than that, unless, of course, you bring up science. But then again, it's not us anymore. It's science doing it for us.
But unless our bodies were able to rid disease or things like that.
That would be the evolution.
On its
I don't,
own, though.
but I don't think that would change
On
the
its
length
own.
of the length of living though, because there's people that are like flawless. They're completely healthy. Nothing's ever been wrong with them, and they'll live around like roughly, let's just say 90.
Yeah.
I don't think you go past that. Because sure, we'll be able to get rid of like diseases and stuff. That's evolution. That's how that works. But it's not going to make us live any longer. We've already maxed that out, I believe, as a species.
Go ahead, Thane. Sorry.
I think Cole has the right idea, but I think that it's not that we evolved; it's that we're discovering more about what the human body's capable of. Because if you think about it, if you look at like Neanderthals and how they like lived, I think they were more physically stronger just naturally.
Oh yeah, that's
think
because
that
that was part of their
strength-
evolution. They had to
yeah.
be that to be.
Yeah. And since we don't need to be that strong, I think it just kind of evens out, I guess. So yeah, I think we've been done evolving for quite a while. We just are discovering more of what our body is capable of through science. And yeah, I think like the human body, we could see what the human body does if you put a baby on Mars and let it grow up. But yeah, and I think that we've been going on this topic for a bit too long.
That's what I was waiting for.
This is actually Thane's week, guys. Thane has some
Yeah.
cues.
And I was gonna.
That was
That's
scientist week.
That's what podcasts are. You just talk about the same thing over and
I was
over
gonna
again.
talk
thinking we're
about.
okay.
I was gonna talk about Baby Driver this week, but I guess I'll cut it short. It's good.
movie. It's a movie.
It's a movie. Go watch it. It's a movie. Go
It's really
watch
fun.
it. It's from Edgar Wright.
It takes music
You
and
like
cars
Shaun of
and
the
puts it
Dead?
together.
You like Shaun of the Dead? You like Hot
Wait.
Fuzz?
Shaun of the Dead. Wait.
Wait, he directed Shaun of the Dead and Hot
Yeah.
Fuzz?
Yeah, I didn't know it was the
Aw,
same
beautiful.
dude. Really?
I
yeah,
love those movies.
Edgar Wright.
It is nothing
I
similar
love
at
those
all.
movies.
Yeah, he put more like Hollywood-esque stuff in it.
I got a hot take.
Then
Shaun-
what's that guy? Sean what? What's his name? Sean what?
Oh, you mean the guy who stars in it?
From Shaun of the Dead
yeah,
and
Shaun.
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. Simon.
So my hot take is Shaun of the Dead is not very good, but Hot Fuzz is great. I didn't like Shaun of the Dead that much. I don't think it was that great.
Did you just not
I'll
like the
debate
humor?
you.
I agree with the fuzz.
But I loved
part.
Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz, it's the same humor. I just
It
didn't think
is.
Shaun of the Dead was
I
that
agree
good.
with the fuzz part, but not the other part.
Hot Fuzz is incredible. Shaun of the Dead, yeah.
Have you seen At World's End? That's like in a trilogy.
I've not seen that one, no.
Blood and Coronado trilogy, I think. That's the they say it's the At World's End is not as good as the other two, but yeah, it's part of a trilogy because
Huh.
has Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, both of those guys in all three movies.
I'm probably super wrong about this, but is At World's End the show that critics have decided is like the worst movie ever created?
No,
Because I've heard about there's a movie similar to like I'm just basing this off the title, but it's like an end of the world type of movie that critics have decided is the worst movie ever created.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So
Why
no, the
just
movie,
a simple bad movie would think
Yeah.
would do, but
No, it's
no,
like the
a
worst
no would
movie. Like everything's
suffice.
bad about it.
So no, the movie At World's End is about the pub crawl, but like the alien invasion is happening. Like
think
where
I've
these
seen
guys
it.
are
Okay,
going
I don't
on
think
a
it's
pub
the same one I'm
crawl,
thinking of.
and then an alien invasion starts happening. So they're trying to go from pub to pub, trying to survive. Instead
you know what
of
movie? Do you know what year this was made? Do you know?
2012.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll go watch it.
I don't know what movie you're talking about because
I don't
if-
either.
I also think
I
if
always
This
forget
Is
the
the
name.
End, that movie was critically well received too.
It wasn't that one though.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one as much either, but it wasn't that one for sure. Because this one though, I'm thinking didn't have like very many stars, if at all
Okay.
any.
This is the end. That was the comedic one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one
Okay,
with
okay.
like the stars playing as themselves and
Oh,
the
yeah.
apocalypse
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
No, also you want to know something? Edgar Wright, he's a very talented director because he also directed Scott Pilgrim.
Dang.
I don't. Okay, hot take on that one. I don't really like Scott
that one
Pilgrim that
either.
much either. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I tried it. I tried to get into it, but there was just I just didn't really get into it. I guess.
Hot take.
Hot take.
All of
hot
us have
sauce.
our feet out.
Yeah, for all you complainers out there that
What?
say wear your damn socks, screw you. Unless
It's
you're
hot
just-
in his house, guys. We
Yeah.
decided just to let the
Foot
dogs
fetish,
out.
Foot fetish Twitter.
Who let him
time.
out, guys?
Yeah, you guys want you guys want your OnlyFans feet pics? Well, here you go. Here's a
Yeah.
little taste. You can see the. What do you just call the bottom of your foot? It's not the palm of your foot, is it?
I've heard referred
Is it
to
the
as
palm
that.
of your
The
foot?
palm?
Like
So-
the palm of your hand.
I've never heard that before. I don't know what it's
'Cause
called though.
People have said this is your heel, this is the
Yeah.
ball, this is your big
and then
toe.
this is the arch.
You have
Yeah, that
balls
works.
on your feet.
Yeah, if I'll step on you, Thane.
Oh, CBT baby.
Oh.
You could step on your leg or something.
Thane,
or
Thane
your
wants.
foot.
Thane, do you want?
He wants you to step on his nuts, Cole. Go for it.
Wants it.
He wants the balls to touch. Do it, Thane.
What is
Um,
this thing called?
Thane, that's-
like the bone.
That's illegal,
Your
Thane.
ankle bone,
That's your ankle bone.
both sides.
I don't know what
Uh,
the name of the bone is.
Is it like a hinge? Like it acts like a hinge, basically.
You got so many little tiny bones.
I
in
know
here,
you
it's
do, but like,
nuts.
what's the big one?
Yeah, pretty
Just
much.
the ankle bone. I don't like it. I hate
Ankle
that
bone.
bone.
bones.
Hate that
There's
bone
a
so
name
much.
for it,
It
but-
sticks
Stem,
out and
bone,
hurts everybody.
Stem, bone, stem,
Yeah.
grim bones.
Yeah,
the worst
you
one.
smacking on things.
It is
Yeah,
really
it's the
tender.
worst.
Yeah, it's not. There's not really anything to defend it. You
Uh,
know, kind of just out.
One of the biggest things while we're talking about bodies is if there's one thing I could change about my male body specifically,
Anything on your body?
yeah, it would be to have my nutsack inside my body and not on the outside.
To protect it.
You know
Yeah.
what?
But then it wouldn't be able to produce like.
No, what
Yeah.
if your internal body though?
I guess
just
that's true.
kept-
It could just
it
it just
kept
work like
perfect.
that. Yeah.
Obviously, it's on the outside because you have to have like perfect temperature so it doesn't melt on the inside.
It's like the most. It's like someone that orders like a drink and they have to have it at room temperature. Like it has to be the perfect temperature.
Pretty much like
That's what it's like.
not too much ice, but I don't want it too hot either. Just the
Yeah.
right.
It's like someone's really
I want
picky.
too cold either.
Yeah, someone's
Kinda
really
hot
picky.
if you put ice in it.
That's just one thing I've always wished because when you're a guy, like you sit on your nuts or somebody flicks them or you get them in your
Yeah.
zipper. There's just a lot. Like, I don't know.
So
It'd be easier to just have
I
them
had
inside
this
the body.
discussion with someone the other day. You know who it is.
Yeah.
So, they said if you could pick where, like the placement of your member and members, where would it be?
On the inside.
But let's
Same
say
spot, just on the inside.
let's say okay. Let's say it has to be on the outside, and it has to be a different spot other than where it's at. Where would you
I
put
don't
it?
know. It's a pretty fair spot where it is right now.
Well, you have to move it. Let's say you
Oh,
had
Why
to
just
move
move
it.
it like 3 centimeters over?
Yeah.
Or
Or
up.
That'd be kind of weird too. Think about it over here.
Dude, the
No,
thing,
that wouldn't be comfortable either.
yeah, the thing
Exactly.
is,
I
want it
though,
right here.
is anywhere on the outside.
No, let's say it can't be there. It can't be in your middle. It has to be somewhere else. Where would, if you had to pick?
I think you'd have to put it somewhere where it would get protected.
Exactly. It's, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, can't put it on your back because like if you
No.
can't sit up against a chair, like you're in trouble.
Dude,
put
honestly,
your-
it's
or
like
clothing.
perfect
or-
placement where it is.
It is.
Because you
when you
can't
think about
If
it-
you put it on your butt,
when
you
you think
can't
about
sit.
it, like we always think it's really inconvenient, but if you think about it, it is. We've gotten used to it, so like it's.
What
a
about
pretty good
like
spot.
maybe your armpit?
See, I think that too, but like let's say you sleep on
I
your
don't-
side or
I don't-
lay on your
Or
side.
what if it was like right here? Those like.
Yeah, I don't think
so
you would have
it's not
that.
squished.
It would
'cause-
essentially act as like two legs.
Yeah.
If you want to, you could tuck it in there and
Well,
hide it.
That
but
might be the move, dude.
I think it's the move. It just
Anywhere else,
simulates
dude,
two legs.
if you put it underneath your kneecap, squished, like
I don't know about the squishing because if you that's all you had, I don't think you'd squish it. I'm just saying like I just feel like it'd be the most similar to where it is now, right up here.
yeah.
What if you had? Would your balls are in there too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like you wouldn't squish them. Like it'd be hard to go like that, you know.
let's say you're trying to do some sort of like
arm exercise.
yeah or something like where you
I know the simple trick to that one.
what?
Don't exercise.
Don't do it.
Don't exercise.
mine,
Just be a
Cole.
fat
Mine.
slob the rest of your life.
Everybody will just be leg day all day.
Let's say you're standing up like you're standing like near like a wall or something, and someone pushes you into it. You're done.
I
there.
still don't think though,
You're
because like if
done.
you get smashed like this, you're not gonna do it either. What if it's just sitting on the outside of it?
But I'm saying if your nuts are in
Doesn't
there
have to be
too,
inside
you're
of there.
You're getting smashed.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's getting
I think
smashed.
so too. I think
There's a
you're
little
getting
compartment
smashed.
ready for it to go into.
Yeah, I get
It's ready
nervous
to
about
get-
it being right
It's
here. I
ready to
would.
get sucked inside.
I
And
get
be
nervous
okay.
about it. If I had to pick, it would probably have to be like my stomach or like my chest or something. I feel like right there in that area, I could keep it away from.
What if it
things.
was like? Never mind. I don't want to even say
You
it.
can put on your face.
No, we're not going there.
Your neck. You're gonna
No,
say neck.
I was
Yeah,
not
you
gonna say
are.
neck.
Yeah, he
Right
wants
in
it
his
on his
mouth.
neck,
Put
guys.
his mouth.
He wants it on his neck.
I don't want it on my neck. Like I said, optimal situation. I don't even care about the wiener. I think it's fine where it is. But if I could just suck my balls inside my body and they wouldn't get hurt,
Someone clip that.
I think every guy would agree, though.
No,
like,
you said.
what?
Never mind.
Well, on that note,
Did you hear
Zane,
you said
it is your
Cole?
week.
Cole, you
I
already
heard
said
him,
right.
I heard him.
Yeah. So it's guy
At
Boober or
the
Say
end
Man
of,
or
at the
Thick's
end
gonna
of the
get
movie
you.
review, go watch Baby Driver.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Wait, Thane,
That's what you're talking
Thane,
about.
where's your placement?
I don't want to.
You don't want to talk about that?
No.
Is that too
Would it
inappropriate
just
for
be
you?
on your hand thing, just so you could like do Iron
Sky, have you
Man?
been keeping time?
We're fine.
Okay.
He's take a leak.
Thane wants to leave.
All right.
Imagine your It'd be
we're
really
an hour.
convenient to do that.
How many questions you got,
Right.
Thane?
It would.
Okay, so you
Th-
just want to
Thane's
stand
done.
here.
No, Thane, we
Thane's
can go as long
done.
as you want. It's your week. I'm
No,
sorry, we
like,
kind of
do you want-
hijacked it.
I want to do
Yeah.
at least one Thane question.
I mean, do you want to say Thick host the podcast and then
It
move
was
on?
Boober.
It's Boober.
Boober
Sorry,
hosts the
Boober.
podcast.
Say Boober hosts the podcast.
No, go
And
ahead.
then-
What
Okay.
was your topics?
Boober
Alright,
wants
so
to host?
I was originally
Or-
gonna
He
do
did
these
host this
this
one.
stupid
basically. Yeah,
the stupid troll thing where I was like 50 Okami facts and be like the first would be like Okami is a game. Fact number 1, Okami is a game. Fact number 2, Okami's released in 2006. And I'd be just gonna piss around, but no.
Oh, do it. Do it.
No, I
He
got rid of
he
it.
already gave us the joke though.
I got rid of it. I was just gonna troll you guys. But
I would've
was
sat
gonna
and listened,
slip in
honestly. I
legit
wouldn't know.
I was gonna slip in legit facts like how Okami originally had dinosaurs in it, but they took them out and replaced them with demons.
And then you can
But-
just start making up stuff. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I should have done that. Yeah.
Okami is where hentai came from.
Yeah,
Okami
Yeah.
is not just a fox, but also a turtle.
yeah.
Also, a great lover.
Oh,
Is that true, Thane?
Okami inspired What Did the Fox Say video.
I'm sorry, Sky. I stretched as soon as you got up.
Did it just
So-
die? Oh, okay.
Sure glad the camera didn't
So the
catch
3
that one.
questions I was gonna ask is, what do you think about story in video games? What's your favorite video game stories, and what book would you like to have based off turned into a video game?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I wish
What
I read more
book?
books now, though.
Yeah, you can pick in any order you want. Go.
Shoot, we're gonna do one
Ooh.
question at a time. What was the first
Yeah,
one?
ask us one question at a
Sorry, I was thinking
So,
about the book.
What do you think about story in video games?
It's phenomenal. I like it. It's fun. It's like a story that I can actually take my character through.
It's basically the reason I play video games is because of the
Cool.
story.
I agree.
Cool. So
You have to have a good one. It has
yeah.
to be. It has to be good.
yeah. Well, the thing is, to me, it's always gonna be gameplay. Because if you have a really good story, but the game is absolute suckage to play
Hey, I
through,
played Shadow of the Colossus, didn't I?
yeah.
Was the story okay?
It was okay.
Was the gameplay okay?
No, it was trash.
See,
Trash
that's
game. Don't
think
play.
about. So
Hot
what about
opinion.
that? So what about that
Hot
thing?
take.
Thing, what
real
about
take.
the gameplay is phenomenal, but the story's like this is really boring.
That's the thing. Like
Do you still go through
You
it?
ever-
Just power through.
the one game I could think of as an example of that is Just Cause 2. Everyone just plays it for the destruction. You actually go play the story. You're like,
Okay. I can agree with that. I play
Yeah.
games like Minecraft, for example. There's no story to Minecraft. You're
story
just
at
playing
all.
it to play it.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
you kind of create your own story.
Let's say it does have a story though. Let's say like it has a story. Would you if it has really good gameplay, would you still do it or no?
Wait, what do you mean?
Would you play through it? Like let's say there's a campaign or a story mode. Would you play
Minecraft?
through it? Not Minecraft.
Just
Any game
any
specific.
game?
Any game really.
It's got a campaign or story mode with good gameplay.
It has really great gameplay, but there's a campaign you can play through, but it's so boring that the story's like doesn't make sense and it's just not really fun to do. But the gameplay's phenomenal.
Probably wouldn't have bought it unless it's like a multiplayer game, maybe.
Okay, so that's a no from you then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you have to have good balance because I've definitely played games where the gameplay's phenomenal and the story sucks. I still enjoy it.
Give me
Like
an example.
the Lord of the Rings games I played,
Oh.
the stories are okay, but the gameplay was awesome. I mean, they
At the time,
huh?
at the Lord of the which one are you talking about?
The new ones that they made.
The Shadow
The
Mordor.
old Lord of the
Oh,
Rings
okay,
games
okay,
are
okay.
fine. Like they follow the story like pretty
Oh,
much
okay,
exact.
okay.
Like I can't say anything about those. I think the gameplay's okay. It's fun to play with a buddy, but the story is great because I love Lord of the Rings. I'm talking about the two new ones, the Shadow of Wars games
Oh,
that they
okay.
made, because they kind of tell a story about the guy that created the rings, but they don't really. It's not canon.
Gimli.
Yeah,
It's Gimli.
It's not canon. But the gameplay is really fun. I love the gameplay. The story's okay.
So that's never. So those games were just created on their own though. There's never been any like backstory to how the guy created the rings or like
No,
why.
there is backstory, but I'm just saying they didn't use. There's a lot of things that they added that was not canon.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think they consider those games canon. But they still use some of the same characters. They created a lot of characters, but like I said,
so you did like it though.
Oh, the gameplay's phenomenal. Yeah, it was really fun. You feel like a total bad A. But and then I've also played games with mediocre gameplay, but the story's amazing. Like Last of Us. I don't think the gameplay's that great. It's okay, but the story's phenomenal.
No.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot easier to play a game that has a crappy story but good gameplay than it is to have a good story and terrible gameplay.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
If it wasn't for the story, I say Last of Us would probably be a poor man's Uncharted. Because Uncharted, they got that gameplay on lock, and the story's fun. It's like a little Indiana Jones type game.
Yeah, I agree with that kind of.
But yeah, like
It'd be like stealth Uncharted, but not great.
I'd say more older games, they only had gameplay to rely on. The story is just an afterthought.
You know,
write it in a manual and
It's
good.
funny thing that you bring that up because for a long time in the past, I always wanted to get into old games like NES and stuff just because I thought it was cool to collect them and all. After a while, I did realize it's exactly why I didn't like them. It's because I don't like to play games. I like to get a story out of them. So I play on easy. So that's why I don't like old games. That's why I still don't really like them that much. It's funny that you brought that up, though. It's exactly my thoughts.
I think a big thing with that, too, like for myself, is playing a new game, even playing games that I have a lot of nostalgia for, they suck. They're not fun compared to what we have now. Like, even playing...
Blix or whatever that was. What is the
Blinks the Time
No,
Cat.
Vex. Vex. Yeah, it's
That gameplay,
it doesn't
bro,
play.
is-
Yeah, it doesn't play good at all. But it was made back in 2001. Like if I compare that now to the Lord of the Rings games I just finished a couple of months ago, of course. Like it's really hard to go back and play old things when you got newer ones that run so much better and you have way more control over the character.
Oh, yeah.
Or what sucks is I've played games where the story's really confusing, but the gameplay is good. So it's like it's okay if you still play through it, but it's just not like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like
it goes back to I think for me, if I'm gonna play a game, I like to have a good story that I can like it's fairly easy to understand, and if there are things to solve or like figure out, then you can do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I do like.
And for me, a good example of that is like any of the Souls games or Bloodborne. Like the story is so damn confusing, but the gameplay is really, really fun.
Yeah.
So you'll go through it. Yeah, you still
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
I have an example as well that you guys just let me do recently. I played Horizon Zero Dawn for like, 3 or 4 hours one day?
Mhm.
I've not touched that thing since. Sure, the gameplay was good, but I didn't really care about the characters or the story. That's why I've never touched it again.
See, and
I have to have that hook.
I wonder. Yeah, I see exactly. I wonder if that game specifically, you get to a point to where you get the hook.
I'm sure there is, but
Yeah.
if it doesn't hook me within the first couple hours and I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I never finished games is because I don't get that hooked. However, on the flip side, obviously Persona 5, that thing hooked me, you know?
Mhm.
I was hooked within the first 2 hours, and that's
Yeah,
why
Paul's
I played
addicted.
120.
Yeah, he's addicted.
So I got a question for you though. If you didn't know anything about Persona going into it, do you think you would have given it as much time before you got the hook, or did it hook you immediately?
It's been a while since I remember, like since I first put it in. I probably got the hook after my first couple battles in the dungeon, and I feel like I did that my first play session as well.
So they did.
So
a good
I
job
probably
then.
would have been okay. Because I was already into the characters, like as soon as I saw like their stories and stuff like that, that's why I watched the Let's Play originally.
Mhm.
But the getting me to play it though kind of went back to what Thane was saying with good gameplay. I enjoyed the gameplay. However, there were times I had troubles and issues with it, but for the most part, I did like the gameplay, and that's where it hooked me there because I was already hooked on the characters in the story. That's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think story. Yeah, it goes so far. Like if a series starts out with good story and good gameplay, and the gameplay stays the same, but the story starts to deteriorate after each iteration. Take a look at Kingdom Hearts 3. The story was fine. It was alright. It did its job. Go after many sequels like that are important to the lore and everything. Go to Kingdom Hearts 3. If you only played 2 and maybe Birth by Sleep, maybe a few expansions, if you start in that game, you don't know what's going on. It's so poorly written. And like, even if you did know what's going on, yeah, it's poorly written because like,
Oh, excuse me.
how they set everything up and I'm trying like how everything's executed. It's just like, this is so garbage.
Well, and I feel like a game like that, it's really hard to separate the gameplay from the story. Like,
yeah.
for example, the Shadow of War games that I played, the gameplay and the story can be separated because it's open world. You can go do whatever the heck you want. But something like Kingdom Hearts is, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it a very linear game where you're just literally going through levels trying to piece together information?
I mean, like, there are big chunks of gameplay, but like then you watch a cutscene and you're like, oh, I'm glad I'm enjoying. In fact, I barely, like, I kind of played through it just to play through it. The gameplay wasn't even like that engaging. Like, what number 2 had, it feels like it's watered down compared to number 2. Like, and that's the problem with it. Like, yeah, this game was alright, I guess, but like, compared to number 2, it could have been so much better. But that story that they add in, I was like, what is this crap? What am I playing? Ah!
And then you keep playing it.
Yeah, I kept playing it.
I remember a game that I only played. The story, it was kind of and the gameplay was okay. Like, it was pretty good, but it was Army of Two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I remember the second one, like, it was multiplayer. So like, I remember I played this game a lot with one of my cousins, but that's an example of like, I wouldn't have played it without the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. There's certain games where if there's one good thing about it, I think for me, then it's enough to make it has to be good enough to make me stick around and play it.
I'd say a game like Halo. I'd say, like, yeah, if you look into the lore, the plot's better, but I say the plot in the games are painfully average. Like, it's just the gameplay. And Gears of War 2, and Gears of War, all those, like, I would say 5 has a better story. Like, but like number 4 and like number 3 and 5, I think, have the best stories, but numbers 1, 2, and 4 are just like by the numbers.
I would argue 2 as a
Yeah.
good story.
Yeah, I think 2 had a few moments. Number 1 was by the numbers. Number 4 was
One
way
wa-
by the numbers.
Yeah, I agree with that. 1 and
And-
4 were supposed to start it up. Those kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
I thought number 3 was a very good
Tanner's
ending.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full. Our memory's full. What the freak's on here? Do you delete the old podcasts
I did.
off here, Zay?
No.
You should
Oof.
just cut them off of the SD card next
Oh.
time.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't
Well-
need any of the stuff I got from you either. I don't think I gave you the SD card back either.
that's fine.
Well, I'll have to delete it.
You have to put
Delete
something
'em.
else in here. Make sure
Yeah.
you get all the right ones though before you hit delete. Don't pull a Sky.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm glad. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
you guys can't see me, but I'm dabbing. Ooh.
Can confirm.
Do we say the one time I put a bunch of videos over, Sky did that.
I
so-
cuffed it up, guys. I'm sorry.
And he's gonna have to do it again, unless you save the footage.
So here's I got a question for you guys then, just to wrap up this little subject.
Yeah.
What's more important, gameplay or story?
Story
Gameplay
for me.
always gameplay for me.
See, for me, I feel like it's gameplay as well. If a game sucks but the story's great, I go look up cutscene, like a full movie cutscene of the game. I've done that multiple times.
Also, this is a little bit of OCD me speaking, but like presentations, also everything. Like the story can be very garbage, but sometimes I see beautiful presentation. Like Kingdom Hearts always has a great presentation, like
Yeah.
polish to it.
I can agree with that too.
If I see like an indie game that's 3D, like I like A Hat in Time, but I see a lot of unpolished stuff, and it kind of bothers me. I'm like,
Well,
like I'll see a glitch that like happens because a character was in the wrong place, and like one time I got a glitch where this cat person just popped up, was floating in the air. I'd be like, oh,
you know, I wonder if it depends on the type of game. Like, you take an
Yeah.
open world game, like a game I used to play back in the day was called Mercenaries 2. I couldn't tell you anything about the story, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably
Oh.
put 60 hours into that game just fricking around. But it's an open world game.
open world games usually don't have like polish as like more streamlined campaigns. Like you're always gonna find glitches in open world games, and that kind of bugs me.
Dude,
and also
the
what
jump between Mercenaries 1 and 2
Yeah.
is crazy.
And
that
also-
is crazy.
one thing that bugs me, and this is like average, but like sometimes when a game ends, it'll just like pull up the credits in like a separate video file and be like, "Rrr, rrr." I like when credits, like a cutscene fades into the credits and has like, and maybe like a characters are playing. Like, this is most RPGs. I like that. Credits. If you just make the credits like that, I'll be like, okay, I like that's good on me. But yeah, story.
So you saw the Persona credits yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you think about those?
Those are pretty
good. Or
good.
bad?
Those I expected from a JRPG like that. There's always there, like I said, they're always in Japanese games that they make the credits like a part of the cutscene.
Yeah. Okay. So I was trying to gauge it because it definitely was. They just played a video, but they had stuff in the video that was kind of like extra.
Like, yeah, go to Oblivion, beat Oblivion, and actually I don't even know if it rolls the credits at the end. Like, you beat it, and then it's just like, oh great, you did it. Smash cut, and then it's just like a video file. It's like, and you skip it, and it's like, oh, that's clearly was a pre-asset video file that they didn't merge into the cutscenes. But anyways, yeah, the second question, and we could probably do these real quick. Favorite video game stories. I think one I really like is, and I guess I'll keep saying is Okami. It's just like a beautiful blend. It's a beautiful blend of Japanese mythology, its own interpretation, but the story's engaging. Yeah, sure, like story arc, like some people don't like the story arc parts, but I think they're alright. I thought they could have been better connected, because it felt like sometimes they'll feel like they come out of nowhere. It's like, oh, evil's still out there. It's like, well, that could have kind of been better connected, but I still really like that story. And BioShock, very good story. I like that one.
Don't spoil it. I really want to play.
Yeah,
BioShock.
we should definitely play through all those.
Then you should tell me off camera. Or
Okay,
off.
this guy in the game.
Not the game.
The game.
That little girl pops up.
Yeah.
And it smacks into the wall. If they knew what I was talking about.
Soma. Like, out of all horror games, Soma has one of the best stories. Sure, you have to pay attention. You have to really listen to the dialogue, but when you listen, you'll be like, "Oh, dang, this is so good."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Like, yeah, go play Soma for the story alone. Sure, you might not like I don't like Amnesia, but I guarantee you, because it's like the game Amnesia, that's what I'm trying to get at, but like the story is top notch.
I would say probably one of my favorites recently, and a lot of people probably disagree with this, but probably Breath of the Wild. And I know that Breath of the Wild is a game where you could play to not get any of the story elements, but if you really do play it for the quote-unquote story, get all the cutscenes, like, it gave me just enough to want more, and hopefully they give it to us in Breath of the Wild too. But I thought Nintendo did a very good job of telling a story from flashbacks. So much so that, like I said, I really want more. It got me hooked. It made me want to play the game more and discover kind of how a relationship develops through flashbacks. And it's really cool to see how Link and Zelda's relationship develops through just those flashbacks, because it's Link trying to remember everything and remember why he's trying to fight this floating gas ball above Hyrule. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That was one of my favorite stories in recent, and then probably The Last of Us was a really good story.
Yeah, mine's The Last of Us as well. I really love The Last of Us. Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, also phenomenal story. Lots of really good storytelling and character development stuff. However, my favorite one of all time now is obviously new Persona 5. That just did everything for me. It really did it.
I think recently, I think probably my two favorite stories have been Detroit Become Human and then Last of Us. Those two games had really cool stories. I also really like Red Dead's story.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe because the gameplay is fun and it can be like gimmicky or like just weird and wonky at times, which I like that aspect, like jumping on the horse. I like that, but yeah, I think that for me too.
You know, another one that we've played in the last couple of years that I really enjoyed too was just because of how it was told was Resident Evil 7.
Yeah,
I thought that story was very, I don't know, it was interesting to say the least.
It was a cool story.
Oh man, gotta give a shout out to Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
Bane
shoot.
wins.
Best story
wins.
in a licensed game.
Those are really good.
Oh yeah, those are phenomenal.
Because it's
Yeah,
its
the
own
Telltale.
story. Like they
Telltale.
took the property and
Yeah, the
just made its
Telltale one,
own
guys.
story.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
hard to
say,
pull
I
off
thought it was
really
like,
good
is it
stories
meaning?
in
Is it
licensed
meaning?
games, especially if they're spin-offs. But man,
See, and I feel like going back to what we talked about first is games like that, like Detroit Become Human or The Walking Dead. The gameplay is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
You're literally just choosing scenarios,
It's,
but the story's so good.
It's like a visual novel.
So
What's
I
funny
mean,
is like half the time I played Persona, I felt like that was a visual novel too.
yeah, but I feel like going back to the story meets gameplay. I guess it just differs from game to game. But how I agree, there's a combination of both that makes the relationship work.
also another game, Metal Gear Solid. Sometimes you either have like moments of like absolute lunacy or moments of genuine good storytelling, especially near the end, especially near number 5, which is a garbage story. But number 3, I think, is the best story in the series, mostly due to the relationship between the boss and Big Boss and Snake, like, and the end to that final battle, like it all comes together, like what Snake's there for and what Boss is there for. Like it just comes together beautifully at the end, and really like comes full circle at the end. And the ending is like probably one of the most saddest things and the most fulfilling things in a game for me. And retro games, usually like it's usually RPGs that the best stories. I think Final Fantasy VI has one of the best stories of any retro game, pre 32-bit era, where they could tell full blown Shakespeare tales.
Yeah.
And my final question to wrap things up, let me first blow your mind, guys. Did you know that The Witcher is based off a book?
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's where the TV show is based off the books, not the
Wow.
games. Did you know that Shin Megami Tensei, the game that Persona 5 comes from, that's based off a book?
Really?
Yeah, it's an old Japanese book called Megami Tensei, or the Rebirth of the Goddess, as it's translated. Did you know Earthbound, that quirky little RPG, that's based off a short story?
No, I didn't know that.
That's yeah, crazy, right?
See, all of this appeal ruined because he asked me this yesterday.
Yeah.
The book thing.
He's
Yeah.
tying all this into his last
So-
question.
Oh,
it's
you're
good.
supposed to go.
Hey,
I
this is a
didn't
nice-
know
It's
that.
a good segue. It's a
Hey,
good
this is a
segue.
nice segue. I'm thinking about it. He's like building up. It's like, this is nice.
So the big question I want to ask you, what is a book? It can even have a previous movie adaptation. What is a book you want the straight book adapted into a video game?
Oh,
Also,
that's
Metro's
hard.
based off a book too.
I've got 3.
Yeah, that's right, Metro is.
I've got 3, and I feel like they would all be different games. Number 1, I've thought about this a lot for a lot of years, is I want somebody to do Lord of the Rings justice. I want them to follow the books, and I want them to just make phenomenal games. Really, really fun to play that follow the story. My second one is the book series called 11 Thumps. It's a
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
very mystical.
Could be interesting.
It's a very mystical, fun story. If you haven't read them, they're really, really good. But I think that'd be a fun game too. I don't know how that one would play. To
I
be
feel like it'd be
honest.
like a Harry Potter game.
Yeah, probably something similar to that. There's a lot of magic and mythical creatures. But my third one would be a series of unfortunate events. I
I was
think
thinking that too.
it'd be like a puzzle.
I was thinking that too.
It would be like a puzzle game, like a mystery puzzle solving game. And I think that'd be really, really fun.
But to kind of switch that, and I know it might be a little bit darker. What if you were to play as I don't know, Jim Carrey?
Count Olaf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Count
it'd
Olaf.
be fun, dude. It'd be
If
cool.
you were trying to be Lemony Snicket, if you're trying to be
the
Count
bad-
Olaf,
yeah, be the bad guy
and you're trying
to hurt the
to
kids.
kill the kids,
Yeah.
but do it in like ways that are like canon to the books, like however he does it,
Yeah,
and then try and get away with it.
yeah, dude, it'd be cool. It'd
Like,
be a cool
and you
twist
have
on
to
the
like
story.
you have to like kind of think about like then you have to come up with like I was here at this time, and like you have to like try and make sure that your case or like your story is
Yeah.
like is foolproof. That
Dude,
That'd be interesting.
Another one that I thought would be fun too would be any of the Hardy Boys. Like every book could be a freaking its own little chapter in the game. Like you guys have read the Hardy Boys, haven't you?
It's been forever though.
Yeah, like the murder mystery books.
What about
I like those books.
on a similar note to that, or excuse me, a similar page to that?
I know what you're gonna say.
What did I say? So what's the first letter?
N. Is it not N?
No, it's not N.
Is it the
Okay.
freaking the girl solving mystery one?
That's
No.
Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew.
That's what I said. That's what I was
You
thinking.
gonna say Hank the Cow Dog?
Yeah. No. You got it. It's the cow dog. How did you get that?
Hank the cow.
I thought you were gonna say Nancy Drew too, because that's like solving mysteries.
Exactly.
Hank
That's
the
a
cow
game.
dog.
The Nancy Drew's a game series you can buy on Steam right
Hank
now.
the cow dog, my dude.
Bro, Hank the Cow Dog doesn't really solve. I guess he kind of
It
solves
was
mysteries.
mysteries,
Like
kinda.
who ate the chickens?
Like I'll find out who ate them chickens.
Who ate the
Oh, it was the
chickens?
wolf. The wolf ate the chickens.
Yeah.
Like, good job, Hank. You did it.
Yeah.
I'm a
Good job,
dog.
Hank. You're a good dog.
Oh, for me though, this is a little bit cliche, but I would definitely pick the Hunger Games, specifically the first one, and maybe. So this is what I would do to quote unquote adapt the Hunger Games to a video game. It wouldn't be to follow the story of the Hunger Games, but the world of the Hunger Games, for example. So it'd be for Katniss's stuff. It would just be you essentially play as some random dude from a random district, and that's how you pick the difficulties, is which district you're from.
Oh.
And what you have to do is you have to gather resources by making friends within people, and then when you actually get into the actual games is when you start getting the prizes and stuff, because you made your friends, and that's how much help you get, is how much friends you made and things like that. And
Dang.
alliances and stuff like that and all that tish.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
the
it'd be
stuff-
really interesting.
Pre-game stuff would be
The
interesting.
pre-game, and then during the game with all the alliances and the backstabbing and stuff, I think it'd be super interesting.
He just backstab everyone.
Oh, could you imagine? You're just this smooth charisma, smooth talker
Yeah.
guy. You get all these people yeah, you be my squad, and in the night you just slit every one of their throats.
God.
Damn.
It's not even no
Or
no
you,
remorse.
Or you knock the beehive down from the tree.
Yeah,
you
you're
knock
that guy.
thing
You're the one
down
who
and you
knocks
just
it
walk
down.
away into the night.
Yep.
God.
You give them all. Here's some berries. Eat these. These are tasty. They all eat them and die.
Gosh.
Fortunately, I haven't read too many books in my life. I kind of did, but did read this one book called The Forever War. I think there's Sky.
This guy had to pee really
See him
bad.
walk away.
I think that
Oh, okay.
I did see him walk away. I was like,
Oh.
where'd he go?
Okay.
But I think that the Forever War will be interesting. Be more like an emotional game. Like you ever heard of the game Spec Ops: The Line?
Yes.
I played it,
Yeah.
a couple months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago. When did you
Or
play
a
it?
month ago. I played the whole thing on my computer in one day.
Oh,
I remember
Sky
Yeah.
remembers. I told
Will
him about
you-
it.
Thane wasn't there to watch you.
Yeah.
He said.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how emotionally distressing that game is. How
Yeah.
it messes with you. I think the Forever War would be good for a single player where the idea is that it's a guy. The game is like a sci-fi analogy to Vietnam, where these people are on a pointless war against an alien race, and they travel in space. You know the concept where how far you travel is the years change. On Earth it'd be 2 years,
Yeah.
but you go out there for 3 months.
Mhm.
So that's the concept. And so you just go from place to place, and you you'd see videos of Earth what it is now, and maybe someone went somewhere else, and then you see that character but he's way older, and that would in I guess it could be choice based, kind of like Mass Effect, and you get to choose where to go, and that would affect the story on how you how the world around you differs in time, and combat sections, they feel fun, but you're what's the point? I'm just killing these aliens and they're bloody everywhere, and and then you just get multiple endings, and then you'd be well, I got the happy ending, but now there's a bunch of dead aliens on blood on my hands. It'd be depressing, but it'd be a analogy for war.
That'd be cool.
I know we've had a million of those, but that would be a good concept for it. And I guess a more fun game. would be Harry Potter MMO. I'm just kidding. No.
What was yours, Zay? Did you pick one?
Do I get
I
to
think-
go now?
Oh wait, they already made games off Dune. I know they made them off the
Sorry, hold up,
movies.
Zay. Wait.
Okay.
No, I was
Okay.
being quiet.
Action.
I wasn't done.
Yeah,
I,
go
I,
ahead.
I
Keep
say,
going.
hold up.
Yeah.
I think I say a Dune game based off the first book as a reboot and going through all the books.
Action.
That'd be make it awesome game series.
Action again. 2 actions.
It's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
'Kay.
Sorry.
All right. After thinking about it, I think Sky's idea with the series of unfortunate events would be pretty sick. But what I would want is this has to be really well done, and I still haven't seen the movie adaptation of it, but I would like to see. So have you guys ever seen like those? So like on Netflix, I know they have a few of them, but there's like they'll have like a few short stories. But all in like an hour and a half. So like they'll play
Yeah.
they'll do like a 20-minute short story, but then it concludes, and then they'll go into the next one, and then keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see like a series of different like horror games, but with the scary stories to tell or whatever.
In the dark.
In the dark,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see all of those in their own like different universe, but with all those different like monsters or whatever.
Dang, dude.
Dang.
I would
That
like
be
to
a trip.
see. So if it's done really well and they're all like their own horror game in its own right, and then you kind of just play through and like you get an ending or whatever, but you get to do that with all of them, it'd be sick to see that. And they're super scary. Like that one game that Thane played a while ago, and I know that
PT?
it didn't ever go through, but yeah, PT. Something like that, dude, with those kind of like monsters and like it's
Wow.
fleshed out like as a full story.
This comes
that'd
from a
be
guy
wild.
that hates horror games.
Dude, I love horror themes, but horror games are horrible.
Horrible.
I love horror movies. I love I love like horror stories. I love all of it. But horror games, I like watching people play it, but I
Yeah.
can't play it myself. But I think that'd be cool.
So one more game I thought that'd be cool. So Starship Troopers, you know that movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh
With
yeah,
the
from
bugs.
the '90s.
The book, they have like use power armor. So just think Halo with bugs, with giant bugs or mutant
Like
monsters.
Earth Defense Force.
Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah, no, well, except they're clearly alien bugs.
We both came up with one. It's hilarious.
Think Halo with like alien bug creatures and like glorifying war pretty much. It'd be awesome and offensive at the same time.
Which is what you want, Thane.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
So, before we wrap up, I thought of one more that would be the greatest open worlds game ever made. Ready Player One. I think that would be amazing. It would be a limitless sandbox.
Yeah.
I thought that's
Do you
for
want
sure what
do
you
you
were
want
gonna say.
VR
I
version?
totally didn't think about
Do you
it.
want a VR version or no?
Yeah, just think
never
VR chat, but
played
you
VR.
get to kill people.
No. Think about this. Then it's an open world game where it's a sandbox. People can create their
pretty-
own worlds that you
I
can
have
go
Minecraft.
visit.
I don't
It's
need
pretty
it.
much VR chat, but limitless. It's limitless VR chat.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because think about it, VR chat. There's pretty much every avatar you can find somewhere. I know it's a pain in the ass sometimes. I can't find a Garfield one when I've been on. There's like, hey, I got a Garfield skin. I want a Garfield skin. But yeah, you pretty much have every one of them. Like it's in VR. You can talk with people. Yeah, so just think VR chat limitless.
Yeah.
and you get to kill people.
When we get to that point, though, the monetization would be out the wazoo.
yeah.
Like the game developers will be like, "Hey, I just built a tennis world. Pay $5 to come join
No,
my
no, no,
tennis
wait,
world."
It's like
wait.
Roblox.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought. It was like Roblox.
Guys, wait. I thought of it. So Ready Player One universe is literally Roblox meets VR chat. It's just those two games smashed together.
Dang.
That's a wrap,
Mixed
though.
with a bit of
But a
mixed with a
VR
bit of
version.
dreams.
But a VR version, yeah. That I
Mixed
think
with a
that'd be
bit
cool.
of dreams, mixed with a bit of
That's true.
Jake
That's kind of
Gary's
what
mod.
Dreams
That's
is.
it. It's like pretty much all those games smashed together. That's what
It's a
Ready,
cluster
that's what
frick.
the Oasis would be.
I don't know if I'd like that. I don't know.
I think it'd be fun, but I think
I think it'd be
that's
a
how
cluster.
people. Oh yeah, that's how people
That's
get
what
lost in it.
VR chat kind of makes me like. like it kind of makes me nervous because there's just so much going on. So people are just yelling stuff. I'm like, I can't, dude. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, the
I like the games where I do like multiplayer, but I also like games where I just play by myself because I don't have to worry about anyone yelling or anything like that.
Sing.
I mean, you
just
can
like
probably
that,
just
yeah.
go on there and mute or.
What's the
But
point?
what's the point of going on there then? You just mute everyone and
waste of
flip
time.
people off or whatever.
It's like I can't hear this Garfield, but he's flipping everybody off.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of books. There's been several people saying, "Oh, I want this as a book. If you read a book and you want it as a game, go type in the comments below."
Yeah, let us know what
Also,
book games you want.
Yeah, let us know what game you want us to make.
also, I just want to say before the end of the podcast, the people in Minneapolis who are just trying to live life right now and not want to get caught up in any of the crazy stuff, I hope you're doing good. I know it's very bad down there. And these are just
Or just
like,
anywhere.
yeah.
Not just there, but just
oh yeah,
anywhere
also
that's going
LA.
on.
If you're trying to just
Stay
be a-
safe,
There's
everybody.
Yeah.
a few places where it's really
Yeah. Oh, any place that's massive riots are good breaking out. Just hope you're doing good. And if you're part of the riots,
Don't
riot
hurt anybody.
responsibly.
Don't hurt anybody.
Don't hurt anybody.
Be safe.
right.
Riot responsibly.
Just be
So,
safe.
Be
Just
safe,
be
guys.
safe. Yeah.
Don't hurt people.
Don't kill anybody. Don't get killed. Hopefully you're doing all right. Thanks for watching. We have all our Twitters and TikToks and Instagrams down in the description. Next week is I think Zay, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's Cole.
No, it's gonna be Thick. Thick's gonna host.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, Thick's gonna host like how Boober hosted this week. Co-hosted.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Keep it rad. See you in the next podcast.
Yeah, watch out for. Go ahead.
If there hasn't been riots here yet. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna record outside soon.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice.
Oh yeah,
We're excited. We're
the
gonna
beach episode.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
record on the beach. Yeah.
Anyways,
On the
Probably
beach.
not on the beach. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Where we went yesterday was really windy. It would have been terrible for a podcast.
Oh, that'd been hilarious.
We would have had to do it in the car.
I would love, dude. I would love
the
to watch
car.
someone try and film a podcast to where we went yesterday.
Dude, what we
because
could
it was
do.
so windy, but it would be hilarious to watch.
Dude, that could be our
Let's
weather.
say-
That could be
let's-
the weather segment for the news
Yeah.
show we do.
yeah, the weather's not great today. Back to you.
How's the
It's the wind.
It's like, how's the wind? And the guy at the end, he's like, God, I can't hear anything. The cameraman's like, yeah, I can't either. And it's just filming them. They don't even know they're rolling.
Yeah, there's like,
It's like it's really windy.
I can't hear him.
Oh,
Or then,
we
and then,
going?
and then he's like, "Oh, we're live," and then his hair, like his wig, falls off, like it flies off. It's bad.
Cool. Yeah, guys, we have some exciting news coming up. Look for, hopefully in the next week and a half, big things coming with our merch. We're pretty excited. We're gonna be more accessible for you guys.
yeah.
A lot more
Yay.
options.
Yes.
We're gonna and now we can kind of expand on our ideas as well. A lot
Yeah.
more possibilities.
Expand our
Color.
horizons.
Yeah, and for those of you that did purchase merchandise already, we greatly appreciate it. It supports us, and we appreciate you guys supporting us, whether it's on buying merch, watching our videos, checking out our live streams, or donating,
or listening to the
subscribing.
pod on Spotify or iTunes or
Yes.
YouTube's.
Thank you.
Don't eat the yellow snow, even though it's summer. So
a great
definitely
point,
don't eat the
Dane.
yellow snow during summer.
Oh no.
It's snow. It's a snow cone thing. It's
Yeah.
okay.
This is it, lemon flavored.